Well, thank you for joining us again. Let's get started now. We have Mr. Olusegun Okwade, who is joining us right now to make sense of this story. Olusegun Okwade, he is the media's past chair of Ikeja. This is Society of ICANN. He joins us now. Thank you for your time, and it's good to see you again.
A very wet Tuesday.
Exactly.
That we're just talking to one another.
Exactly, indeed. A wet Tuesday, and biggest stories, some of the stories breaking now. First, let's start from the first story, of course. It looks like it's politics, of course, but you can't separate politics from business because the decision of the policymakers affect the mood of businesses as well. So let's talk about the internal wrangling in the APC with the resignation of the national chairman of the party and, of course, the national secretary, Iyiola Omisore, as well. Adamu and Iyiola Omisore resign, and according to information and the reactions we're getting from some of the members of the National Working Committee, that this happened because they were accused of not carrying members of the National Working Committee. They were also accused of lack of accountability during the management of the party as well. So talk to us about this. Do you think that it is too early to start seeing these among the APC? Because some will say this will sound distracting to the president, not to focus on the major issue of addressing the challenges the economy is facing. Oh dear. I mean, interesting too early to start getting disrupted by this poor internet connection. But of course, we'll get over it, and as soon as we can get Mr. Olusegun back online. But this is the story. The story is that the deputy national.
Okay. Frank, can you hear me?
Okay, all right. Thank goodness we have you now. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much, and I appreciate the opportunity you've given to me. Okay. As regard the internal rancor that is happening in APC, for people like us who are not deep politicians, it's something you would have seen. When you look at the finances, there's what we call trend analysis. We discover that most of the time when we have a new sheriff in time, there's always this rancor that happens within the winning party that always sees the chairman of that party at the point in time out. But this particular one, at least, he was not, let me say, disgraced out of office. He honorably resigned. Because that was what we read about Adamu and Omisore, even though people might feel that internal rancor. You expect that because it is politics. And that's why you see an average person that is outside that will tell you that if you don't want people to actually blacklist or misrepresent your personality, as much as possible to manage how you get yourself involved in politics. It's part of the things that you see in politicking, where people see how they can gain themselves for better, and even the president and the elected officer, how much are they going to establish themselves? Don't forget that Adamu was not in sync with the president-elect. There were rancor during the election.
Oh my goodness. Well, again, I wanted to just bring in these quickly. Do you think this will become distracting to the president? Because some people say there are major issues to attend to. Coming back from, the Kenyan trip, meeting up with these, perhaps this, of course, the president may not be ready for this. But like you said, that there are issues, or there were issues even before now. So how do you think the party will forge ahead? Because, and again, the president being the chief overseer or the general overseer of this party now, how do you think it will handle both the issues within the party and the economy as well?
The dividend.
Okay, I think we have it already. Okay. Did you hear me? Did you hear my last question? Well,
I didn't hear your question. I was doing the one talking.
Oh, Oh, okay. I apologize. I apologize for that. Okay, but I was asking you, talk to us. How do you think that the president will manage this crisis and at the same time be able to attend to, the economic issues? Recently, it declared the state of emergency in the food sector. The issue, quite a lot of issues to attend to in the economy. So, how distracting can this be for him?
Yeah, well, I don't think this should be a distraction to the president. It's an internal issue within the politics, the party that brought him to limelight. He's now been elected by the people under that party. They should resolve their internal crisis and he should focus on governance. What we need him for is to have dividend of democracy. Some of the things he has actually promised in his inaugural speech, how that can be delivered to the common man on the road and reduce the hardship that citizens are faced with. I'm sure the party has no contribution to what we need them to do. We have actually achieved that in the aspect of having them being elected. So they are in power now. Don't forget that the president is the leader for that party. The chairman is there to run the internal affairs that has to do with the politics. So the president should not be distracted. Those at the National Assembly should not get distracted with this, but stay focused in delivering the dividend of democracy, because the action for a common man on the road is hard and is much. If this is happening during election, it can give us so much worries. But now they've been elected. What we need now is to hit the ground running and give us what is expected to move the nation forward.
We do hope that the president will be able to focus more on, economic issues rather than, attending to party issues. So we do hope so. But let's get into the second story, which talks about the inflation rate, which has risen. Talking about the inflation rate in the Africa's biggest economy rising to a new 17-year high. If you look at the June figure, it shows that things are not getting better. It means that the purchasing power of average Nigerian will deteriorate. The value of Naira will decline. So, and that is the reason why this report, came out. Because a lot of economists are saying, look, this is going to get things worse. Things are going to get worse than what we have. I mean, the level we are now. So talk to us about your opinion on the current inflation rate.
Yeah, Frank, truth be told, so many people applauded this administration with some giant stride that they carried out in the area of removal of subsidy, unification of the foreign exchange. But there is more to it. We expected this to happen because the country where we currently reside is consumption-based and there is no production carried out. What we have seen is that some of the hard decisions taken by this administration has impacted holistically on the production of things in the nation. And when that happens, it impacts on the purchasing power of an average citizen. Most especially the basic amenities that an average citizen is supposed to enjoy. Talk in terms of food, which is a necessity. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity. Talk about power, is necessary in the area of production. So you discover, because of the failure in the power sector of not having stable power supply, people resulted into alternative power supply, which is making use of PMX and the DPK, which is petrol and diesel, in the production of some of the things that we even produce locally. So you discover that the cost of some of those things is actually unbearable. It's not something that an average citizen can afford. And in tune, is affecting the company on its own, because when you now make the production, because the purchasing power is low, you discover that the demand for that particular product will definitely nosedive. So you can now imagine if it is a perishable goods. So what get in tune is that a particular organization would have had cost of production to be high and low demand, which resulted into wastages that we're saying. So we have been saying that fine. The government has taken the bold step to remove the subsidy but the palliative they will give should be something that should be commensurate, not the one that we are hearing. Because for me, I still can't bring to bear that we are hearing from the presidency that the palliative that will be getting is for the downtrodden is 8,000 per month.